Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Shawn-Marie. It's so nice to meet you. And if you've been around before, I'm so glad you're here again today. You caught me writing in my planner because the kids are starting their winter break tomorrow. So I'm just trying to line up all my ducks in a row and figure out my meals because I have 4 children for an entire week that we are going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day, so I need to have a plan. And part of that plan is going to be an absolutely delicious and unexpected breakfast treat that I am going to make for them tomorrow. And they are actually going to ask, like, is it Christmas? Because they're used to getting this dish on a holiday. This is something that I grew up with as a child, enjoying on every holiday morning. My grandma would make it, and it was just out of this world. My children also grew up enjoying this on every holiday morning as well, whether I made it or whether we were with my grandmother at that time. And now that she is not here, I have been keeping that tradition alive through the years, and that includes sharing it with my grandchildren. When they do get it, they certainly do enjoy it. And some of you may have heard of this particular dish, and some of you may not. I am going to share with you my Grandma Sylvia's recipe for Estonian Kringle cinnamon braided bread. This was something like that we would wake up to on Thanksgiving morning or Christmas morning. I have no idea what time that woman got out of bed in the morning. I can assure you it was long before anybody else did, but I distinctly remember being woken on those holiday mornings by this delicious, amazing aroma of buttery cinnamon just wafting through the entire house. Everybody woke up. Is there a better way to be woken up? Because I'm really thinking there's not. Unless you add some bacon. That's all I'm going to say. We would come out into the kitchen and there would just be this glorious, delicious treat that we had all come to love and look forward to on those big holidays. We also did get to enjoy it for special church occasions. My grandmother loved to make it. The church ladies loved it. The children loved it. It was just a big hit. And today I actually want to share this amazing recipe with you guys, because this is a dish that you didn't even know you need in your life, but that's what I'm here for. We're going to rectify that today. Now, for those of you that don't know exactly what all that means, a Kringle is Scandinavian, and my grandmother is of Scandinavian descent, so that kind of makes sense there. Different regions have slightly different variations of it, but it is basically the exact same delicious sweet recipe no matter where you go. Some people like to add nuts, some people might even add fruits and change up the fillings, but we like to enjoy it as a buttery, cinnamony, sugary, goodness, this is like a piece of heaven right here on earth. It's a fancier cousin to a cinnamon bun. The texture is completely different. The outside of this bread is this crispy, almost caramelized from the sugar coating that you can bite into and get this amazing soft crunch. And I say soft crunch because it's nothing hard about it. There is a solid crunch there, but when you bite into it, you are into this soft, buttery, light layers of cinnamon, sugary goodness that is just beyond words. Beyond words. It's typically something that would be served at breakfast, but can also be enjoyed as a dessert and can totally stand on its own and substitute it for a coffee cake, and it goes so nicely with your afternoon coffee or tea or cappuccino. It is just an absolute delight to have in your home. Just those buttery cinnamon sugar layers throughout this bread cause your taste buds to literally swoon. It's that good. Without further ado, let's hop down into the kitchen, get our aprons on, and get the sinfully delicious, scrumptious breakfast bread going. Shall we? Before we begin, the printable recipe will also include the conversion to turn this into a sourdough recipe. This is going to be easy. This is just the first step. We're going to put it together and it's going to go into the refrigerator, and I'm going to finish it up tomorrow morning for the children for their first day of vacation. Let's get our Kringle on. One little tip I have for you before I begin all this is I just filled a bowl with hot water. This is going to warm my bowl and keep it nice and warm, which is going to help with the proofing of the dough, and it's going to get it super big and super light and super airy. So I definitely like to warm the bowl, especially in the winter. Just get some hot tap water in it. I'm going to leave it there till I'm ready. Let's go make some delicious Kringle. I'm going to add some yeast, some sugar. Just kind of blend that together. Now we are going to add some warm milk. You don't want it hot, that will actually kill the yeast. You want it nice and warm. Just going to dissolve all those yeast crystals. Add some butter and an egg yolk. You want to make sure you mix this up good. That egg yolk all broken up in there. And you don't want to feel any more granules of yeast. In a separate bowl, I am just going to add some all-purpose flour and give that a sift. I always like to sift my flour. I believe it makes things lighter and airier, and I definitely like to get the lumps out. And I'm also going to add a little salt. I'm also really going to incorporate that to make sure that that salt gets in there. I'm going to add our liquid. Just going to incorporate it a little bit before I start kneading it with my hands. Go. Break the sides. You're going to get your hands in there. Knead this all in together. Just going to work the dough until it all comes off of the sides like it is right now. Have you ever made a Kringle before? If so, what kind did you make? Let me know down below. Now, we'll shape this into a ball, just like that. Now we're going to take our bowl that we had warming with the water, just going to dump it out. Nice clean dishcloth. Dry that up good. You want to get all the moisture out. The bowl is nice and warm. The dough is going to proof so good in here. I'm going to give the bowl a little spray with some canola. And take our dough shaped into the ball. Set it right in there. Now this dough I'm going to seal with saran wrap. I want to keep all of that heat in there on the dough. So I'm not going to use a tea towel. Now this bowl is going to go sit in my great room by my wood stove, which has been going all day, and I'm going to let it rise for about an hour. Like that. Nice and big. Now I'm just going to give the dough some gentle stretches and pulls. This helps to keep the dough soft and pliable without overworking it, because that's something you want to be super careful of. You don't want to over knead and overwork your dough. That will actually create a very tough dough, and it's just not going to be very good. So I'm going to roll it out, and you want to roll it as thin as you possibly can. The thinner, the better. And you're going for a really big rectangle, which isn't easy to accomplish. Got some softened butter. You don't want to melt it, you just want it nice and soft like that. I'm actually going to use the Hippie Pilgrim vanilla sugar. There's no exact measurement for this particular step. I was always taught you measure it with love, and I love this dish. I'm just gonna mix this all together. Get it all mixed up. You want to make a big rectangle, maybe 18 by 20 inches if possible, and you want it as thin as you can make it. That's what makes all of those layers so flaky and buttery and yummy. Get some on here. And we're just going to spread this. I'm going to leave about an inch border. A little extras never hurt anyone. I won't tell if you won't. Now we're just going to start rolling. You want to roll this as tightly and evenly as possible. Every revolution is a flaky, buttery, cinnamony, delicious layer. Because it wasn't a perfect rectangle, I have overages, and I'm just going to trim them off even. Now, here comes the fun part. So we have our dough. We got it the long way. Okay. And take a sharp knife and leave about 2 inches, and we're going to cut all the way through, going down. Didn't want to cut my counter. All right, so right down the middle. Like so. Those layers, you want to turn those layers up. Next, we're going to just braid it, and you're going to keep the layers up as you braid it. Get those ends together. Isn't it so pretty already? And just get it on parchment paper, and I am going to set it into a bowl so I can put it in the fridge with a cover on top for the night. All right, this is going to go in the refrigerator until tomorrow morning. I'm going to take it out nice and early. I'm going to let it come to room temperature, let it do another little rise, and then we are going to throw it in the oven. So I will see you guys in the morning. It's going to be so pretty. It is now 5 a.m. and I have taken the Kringle out of the refrigerator to let it come to room temperature before we bake it. I mean, look at that. Just wait until you see the detail on this Kringle when it's done. It is beautiful. So we're just gonna let this sit at room temperature for a couple hours now because it's still super early, so we're good. Marceline is supervising in the kitchen with me, huh? Baking with Mama? Good girl. My baby. That's so good. We're going to add that onto the top of our Kringle before we bake it. So good. Oh my Lord. Do y'all see this? So good. Oh, this is going to be so good. Now I'm just going to sprinkle some chopped pecans that I have on the top. Oh, so good. So now I've popped my bread into the oven. I had it preheated at 400. I'm gonna let that roll for about 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna actually turn the heat down to 350, let it go for about another 10 or 15 minutes, and we are good to go. Probably in precisely 5 minutes, this house is gonna start smelling amazing, and it's gonna start driving everybody crazy. Can't wait for it to be done. Can I just say that cooking a Kringle in your basement kitchen is even more torturous than cooking it up in your main kitchen? The smell in my house right now, oh my Lord. Buttery, cinnamon, sugar, vanilla, that is all I can smell, and it is permeating through the heating system up all 3 floors. Like, oh, everybody is waking up. This is going to be so good. I cannot wait. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Can you smell that? Can you smell what is cooking in my oven? Cinnamon, sugar, vanilla, buttery goodness. Oh my Lord, this needs to hurry up and finish. I am so hungry. And here you go. A delicious, delectable Estonian Kringle. These kids are gonna love it. And this Hippie Pilgrim vanilla sugar is really gonna elevate this to the next level. I will leave a link in the description where you can get your own delicious Hippie Pilgrim vanilla sugar. Oh, look at this. It's so pretty. It's almost too pretty to cut into. Not. I gotta go feed these savages. You guys hungry for it?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Let's get this show on the road. The outside of the Kringle has the absolute perfect crunch to it, while the inside has the lightest, flakiest, buttery, cinnamony, gooey layers ever. Look at it. Just look at it. I can't take this anymore. I have got to have a taste of this Kringle. Oh, this is gonna be good. Kringle was absolutely delicious and there was nothing but crumbs left. Thanks for watching today's video, guys, and don't forget to check out the link to Hippie Pilgrim down below. I hope this recipe has intrigued you enough to give it a try. Also, pop over to my blog and print off this recipe for your own kitchen files. If you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you next time. Bon appetit!